I still remember the day of the launch. The comments on social media, no, they weren't pleasant. Is it made by Lego? I'm never buying a GS again. Did they ask children to design this bike? Now that it's finally in the showroom, I would like to know what all the fuzz is about.
Ah, whew. Great, wonderful, really. So, hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This is GW BRX Moto and we're going to talk about a very special bike, the new BMW R1300GS Adventure. I want to talk about some pointers, like the design of the bike, all the technology that they put into it, and it's a lot. Certainly, most important, the performance and the agility, like he's heavy, but in the same time very light. And then I want to compare it with my 1250GS Adventure. Am I going to buy this one, or is it too early? I don't know, we shall see. But first, let us talk about the design of this beautiful bike.
First, we have a slimmer, more compact frame. BMW redesigned the body for a sleeker profile that's not only looks sharper, but is also enhanced maneuverability. The fairing and tank are noticeably narrower, giving the bike a more aggressive stance on the road. There is a big improvement in frame geometry. It's a touch shorter, offering better control in off-road conditions compared to the R1250GS Adventure, which was built for that long-haul stability. Moving to the seat design of the bike, when I compare it with its predecessor, I must tell you to take the comfort seat as an option. The seating position has been improved on the new model, but the standard saddle will not be sufficient for longer rides. You already know the new design of the headlights from the R1300GS. On this Adventure, only the position and shape of the fog lamps have been replaced. No longer mounted on the crash bars, but integrated into the body.
But let's end this discussion about design. Is this bike the most prettiest bike of them all? Well, BMW changed the game with the new 1300GS Adventure. It is something that we're not used to and it has to grow on you. Do I find it appealing? Well, in the beginning I was more like, nah, not going to buy this bike, it's an ugly one, blah blah blah. But I have to be honest, I have ridden the bike now 2 days and it starts to grow on me. So yeah, maybe. I'm not saying no. But yeah, let's talk about technology, because this bike is certainly loaded with new stuff.
What should we start with? Are you looking for the start button? Well, that's now along the throttle. You get used to it fairly quickly. You will now also have a button that is personalizable. For one person, ideal for the heated grips. Another person prefers to operate the windscreen with it. Personally, I would have preferred to see an extra button for just the heated grips, like on the 1250 models. The lane change assist is certainly a useful gadget. It helps to notice traffic that is in your blind spot. We also thank BMW for making the smartphone compartment larger. An iPhone Pro Max is no longer a problem. I'm also curious about the new mounting system of the tank bag. The TFT display has a new sports menu and it's operated with a well-known scroll wheel on your steering wheel. I personally think the electric windshield is a plus. I'm 1.88 meters tall and it's very easy to adjust the height with just a push of a button. The adaptive cruise control, on the other hand, did not convince me. I'm quite a dynamic driver and I always try to pass through traffic as compact as possible. This is not possible with the adaptive cruise control. The function works very well, but I don't think it's suitable for every motorcyclist.
It's useless to talk about performance when you're just sitting here. So to talk about that, we're going to hit the road and yeah, we're going to smash some corners with it.
Let's start with the heart. Its new 1300cc Boxer twin engine is slightly more powerful than the 1250. It pushes out 145 horsepower and 110 Nm of torque. Twist the throttle and you notice it's smoother yet more responsive. When I'm cruising down the highway or accelerating out of a corner, the power delivery feels precise, direct and somehow endless. It's like BMW tapped into a reserve of energy just waiting to be unleashed. It's not just about brute force though. It's also about balance and control. The Boxer engine sits low, maintaining a low center of gravity, which gives you stability and confidence, especially when leaning into corners. Cornering feels controlled, predictable, and honestly quite effortless. The biggest difference with the 1250 is the playfulness. The new 1300 has a very sporty feeling. The corners can be entered easier and lighter, while the 1300 is actually heavier than its predecessor. This motorcycle is made for the endless twisties in the mountains. In combination with a good pilot, it's unstoppable. When we talk about the suspension, I do have a point of criticism. It steers fantastically well, but the suspension has become a bit harder. Too hard for me actually. On my 1250GS I can still choose the comfort mode. I call it my lazy couch mode for giving me a good ride on long highway miles. In the new model, this lazy seat has been exchanged for a sturdy bucket seat. BMW has clearly made the choice to take a more sporty path with the new 1300GS Adventure. And let's talk about that acceleration. When you need to overtake, the power is immediately. The new 1300GS Adventure gives you that satisfying kick, allowing for clean, safe passing without hesitation. The torque is available right when you need it. This in combination with the new gearbox and the quick shifter is a dream come true. It puts a smile on your face as you effortlessly go through all the gears. A knife that cuts through butter. Now this is an adventure bike, so BMW, they did not forget the off-road crowd. While I'm primarily sticking on the road today, it's good to know that the 1300 is ready when the asphalt ends. The new suspension and the torque of that boxer engine mean you can take this bike on dirt trails, rocky paths or even sand. If you're looking to explore beyond the pavement, the 1300GS Adventure is ready to go there with you. I have already talked about it in this video, but be sure to ask about the comfort seat if you are considering a purchase. I'm sure you will thank me for this tip. A topic that I should certainly not forget about are the brakes. As we know, BMW uses a combined braking system that allows the front brake and the rear brake to work together. This happens without us paying attention to it. What I did notice is that my 1250GS Adventure has more bite than the new one. It may be that it's just something that happens between my two ears, but I still had this impression. But I have to say, BMW, you did it again. The new 1300GS Adventure truly lives up to the GS legacy, and they took it to new heights. What a day and what a ride. Let's have a coffee and let's see who wins this battle.
They really did a good job with the new 1300, but let's compare him with his predecessor, the 1250. We talked about three things. It was design, performance and the new technology. Well, let's compare it. On the design, I'm sorry 1300, but you lose a point. It's not that you're not beautiful, but I do prefer the lines of the 1250. It's something that has to grow on me and yeah, I'm not ready for it. Sorry for that. So 1250, you win a point. For the technology, yeah, we have to be honest. The 1300 is loaded with new tech. It's just loaded with it. Do you need it? No, you don't need it. But do you need a smartphone? You can see what point I want to make. It's just easy. Lane change assist, I get it. A little indicator that tells you that somebody is in your blind spot. Totally fine with that. Adaptive cruise control, nothing for me. It leaves a gap between two vehicles and the gap is too large for me. I put it in minimum, like minimum distance, and the gap really stays like, it really stayed big. Big enough for a car to enter and then your bike gets in the brakes, and I don't like that feeling actually. The windscreen, that's a plus. Really, it's a plus. I'm 1.88 m and I had all the comfort behind the windscreen. Incredible how they did that. Also, don't forget that the new 1300 is available with the automatic gearbox of BMW. I did not test it, but yeah, maybe it's great, maybe it's not, I don't know. Maybe in the next video we will test that. And performance, well, what do I think? Yeah, it's fast. It's a really fast bike. It handles really good. But do I think that the 1250 isn't powerful enough? No, sorry. The difference between the 1250 and the 1300 is not that much. It feels lighter than a 1250 and it feels more nimble than the 1250. That's 100% true. But in performance, if you see to the numbers, if you look to the numbers, the 1300 will win this battle with a 1250. So in points, the new one wins the game. It's true. But do I feel like the 1250 is an old bike now? No, I don't. Actually, I really don't. You can compare it with a good espresso. Well balanced, powerful, reliable. I don't need anything else than that. I don't need all the bells and whistles and all the technology and more power. I don't need it. I just need a reliable bike, and that's something that I have with my 1250. So maybe if you're upgrading from a 1200 or you're upgrading from another brand, go test the bike. It's an awesome bike, it really is. But for people that are riding a 1250, I don't think they are going to change to the new 1300. But yeah, if you want to do it, do it. So if you like this video, well, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. That means a lot to me. Thank you again for watching, and I see you in the next one.